Hey guys, welcome back to some companions. As you can see, we are in chapter 17, almost going into 18. Now we're just over a week into this game, and honestly, pretty cool to see the progression. A lot of players in here loving, the guild aspect of it, some of the PvP aspect. It seems like they've cleaned up and fine-tuned a lot of things when it comes to the classic version of AFK Arena. Want to hop in here, I want to do some summons, answer some questions that I've been getting out of YouTube and a couple other places. So the first one is, when we look at the summons itself within the Noble Tavern, are players doing Destiny summons? Are they summoning for Neve? Now, it is estimated that Daimon is going to be the next hero that we're going to see. So Daimon is going to be the one we're going to see with the next patch. Are we using diamonds in there? In here, we are not. So I have been using, on a regular basis, I have been using my vouchers in here to go ahead and summon up copies of Neve. We already have one copy of her at this point. Now, of course, if you remember, and if you think back when Neve was really big and the Awakened version of Solus was in utilization and really run with Grez, it made a monster difference in a lot of different game modes. It was a solid combination with all three of those. Don't know exactly what the impact of Daimon is going to be at this point, but again, Dolly is already alluding that it's going to be Daimon, and a lot of players are estimating that when Daimon is released, he is going to be in this Destiny summon. Again, we don't know the release schedule of these heroes themselves, but honestly, I've been going in here and using all of my scrolls, now not only to get Neve, but to get the rare heroes. It seems like in this game, to get copies and to build up heroes, I am getting more than enough copies of all the elite heroes that I need to go ahead and build them up, but I am missing the food for everything in their entirety. So it kind of stinks because even with the massive amount of scrolls that we're getting, the summons we're doing, we are lacking food in every single faction, which again is kind of crazy because when we think of the summons and being able to build these heroes out, we're not getting enough rare heroes, even though we're pretty limited with the elite heroes. Again, it seems like it's very few and far in between to go ahead and get enough food for any of these factions at all. And I know a lot of players, that is, again, another comment that I really got, is why and how is it so difficult to get the food in here? Now, again, thinking of the food, thinking of the summons, we've already at this point probably done 1,000+ summons at this point. Looking at the Temple of Ascension, we've been, again, kind of slowly building up these heroes. But when we start thinking of the Maulers, I don't even really have anyone in here to build. Even looking at the Graveborn, I just got that second copy of Grez, but looking right here, definitely want to build up, but we only have Shamira right here. Don't even have enough copies to build this up a little bit further. And honestly, probably getting her up to Ascended would have a bigger impact than building out Grez. But we know we want to build Grez in here as well. But again, we don't have enough food. We're getting a lot of copies of, as you can see, all of these other heroes. But when it comes to the stress and when it comes to building out and getting food on a regular basis, it is very, very difficult to do. Now, of course, the two game modes, very unique, but grinding both of them has been just that. It has been a pretty good grind. So I've been going through, been making campaign progression. Swap over to the Forked Fate. I've been making a lot of progression, as you can see, 13-8 in here. And then, of course, hopping back in the King's Tower, we've already farmed up a lot of these towers. The Bruto Citadel, like we have always seen, the Mauler Tower is the most difficult. A lot of players were asking, how can you make more progression in the Bruto Citadel? How can you make a lot more, really just being able to move in there? You're limited to what you have, guys. So some of the big heroes in here, of course, Brutus, when it comes to the tower, very, very big. Looking at Nemisu or Salakai, you're going to have a support hero in there. But thinking of damage dealer, we have Crescio, but overall, Crescio doesn't have a lot of survivability. Titus has some crowd control in there, but thinking of heroes like Scrag, and again, summoning in here for Maulers, it doesn't seem like the impact overall for the heroes, similar to what we've always seen with the classic version, the Maulers are the most difficult faction, and they do take the most time to try to grind through. A lot of the content has been incredibly difficult. Now, the arena, a lot of players were also talking about this. The arena is a place where I feel like you cannot overlook. This is such a big place that we're seeing a lot of progression in here, is being able to come in here, make some very solid progression with the heroes that we have. It's a game changer. The amount of resources and the generation that you get in here, even when it comes to building out and getting a lot of diamonds out of this game mode, You're going to have to farm this, and you're going to have to farm this religiously because of everything you're getting in this game mode. It does and is making a really, really big difference for progression. If you're having struggle and really struggling in progression like I was, guys, this is where you can make up a ton of ground is coming through here. Now you can see this is the power of Brutus. Brutus is very difficult to deal with in PvP, very difficult to deal with the Mauler Tower, and we only gain one, but look at that. Gladiator coins we got, and we got diamonds in there. As we continue to farm up and make more progression in here, we continue to get more and more diamonds, but you can see the competition in here has gotten incredibly difficult. And I'm not sure what the quick battle does. So consume 5 challenge attempts. I think this is just going to reward me. There's 1,500, but it didn't give me any tickets, or excuse me, any didn't give me any diamonds, didn't improve my rank. You want to try to get the top 50. I know for a lot of players, top 50 is going to be incredibly difficult, but that gives you the Cronus summon, which of course allows you to choose your heroes. Again, when it comes to the summons, when it comes to everything in here, they have really dealt us a lot of different heroes, a lot of different ways. We've been building up a ton of different heroes, but we are still, again, missing a lot of the pieces that allow us to build these heroes up further. And it looks like no way, guys, the magic ticket is here. I absolutely love the event over on the Classic. Let me see, and it is up, where is it? Usually in the, not the merchants, top is the events. Let's hop in the events, and there it is, guys. There's the Magician's Hat. Let's look at this. Didn't know the Circus Tour was up, didn't know this was up, but I want to see what they're offering over here. So we have Taylene. Taylene and Khazard out of there, guys. Taylene, honestly, is a game changer. Regular summons, regular heroes do not buy at all, but they also probably have food. And they have food. That is going to be a very, very tough choice between Taylene and buying food out of here, because even here, Taylene is 180. This is 20. That is going to be relatively cheap to buy. Even looking at the Stargazer Scrolls, that is pretty cheap to buy as well. Ooh, that's tough over here. Again, thinking of the Classic version, you know, you'd go straight in, you'd probably pick up a hero, getting that copy of Taylene, but honestly, I think I'm going to go in here and I'm going to get food. This, of course, you get awarded when you're going through here with the Magician's Hat. If you're unfamiliar with it, you do get these small, these tricks. They turn into this piece right here, which is the Circus Medal. When you get Circus Medals, that gives the ability to exchange. Now, every pull you do in here, which I believe it's going to be the same, it takes 300 of these to go ahead and pull, is you do get rewarded every single trick you do in here. Yeah, magic trick right there, 300. Every single trick you pull in here, you do get rewarded, which is kind of crazy. This seems, again, very similar to what we've seen with some of the events based in the Classic version. So I'm going to hop in here. I'm going to drop in just kind of my go-to team. I'm going to do Eron in here for the pull, and I'm going to swap these two around. I love having Leica kind of behind a tank. The reason being, when it comes to Leica, Leica has the ability to armor reduce, and then we have Eron in here. Of course, Shamir is going to damage everyone with our tank in here, which is Rowan. Still trying to build them up with some signature items, trying to get them built up a lot faster. And it looks like we literally just got crushed in here, but I believe it's still going to give us the rewards. That's all we want. This team, I mean, 240 right here, just literally melted us like you've seen. Let's swap this in the back. I feel like it's going to be just a melt again, which it was. There we go, 84. But that's okay because we got chest number 2. That's all we're looking for. We're not worried about the ranking. I'm not worried about this because, again, we're super limited to the heroes that we have, and being able to go in here, make progression is going to make a big difference. But now when you start looking at the Battle Pass, the Battle Pass is one absolutely you want to farm out, and also the travel notes. That is the second part. You have to farm out, and you have to farm out religiously. There is never a reason why you shouldn't be farming these out. And of course, they have a daily piece to them. When you're going in and you're doing the dailies, they go to weeklies. Then, of course, the challenge quest is in progression. Same for both of these, the Battle Pass and the travel notes. When you're making regular progression in here, you are going to get the daily, you're going to get the weekly. Completing these in their entirety are going to yield you a crazy amount of rewards, as well as the guild boss. When you're hopping over here and you're going into this guild hunt, you can see we're in phase 6 right here, making progression in here and really making any progression you can. on a regular basis farming this out. This is free loot. Now, I did also pop up our reward bonus. So if you're in the guild, guys, you can see right there, it is doubled. Reward bonus is activated, meaning we are getting double rewards, which is awesome out of the boss. Again, the way that they did the bosses in here, I am super impressed with how they are built in here. I love the way they built them out in here. Even looking at, the guild treasure hunt, looking at everything else in here, it is pretty impressive how they built it out and how it works, how they're giving us all the free heroes. Again, I like it. I like the way that they built this. A lot of players were kind of wondering, why is it so different? Why are so many players interested in the game? It's very interesting how they rolled it out, how it works, and how really the functionality between all the dream realm and everything else, again, kind of works. It's very clean. It's very clear cut. The way that it works, the methodology behind it. And of course, we just need to gain more levels. We need to make more progression. But again, I'm summoning for Neve. We're getting a lot more summons out of there. We're getting a lot more pulls. Scrolls we get out of kind of random everywhere. Gives you scrolls. So again, we're recycling those, making sure you're going into the store, buying diamonds out. You can see this has a couple more days to refresh, but getting your summons out of here, even looking at the arena store, I bought some different things kind of here and there, trying to see, because overall Mortis, I know I'd love a copy of Mortis, but I feel like at a lower end of the game where we are now, way too difficult to get those copies of Mortis. It might take a little bit of time. And then of course in here, I did buy out the scrolls. I am just looking to get food. I am just looking to really anywhere that we can do summons, anywhere that we can get food out of this game. We are farming it on a regular basis. Even looking here, a couple more faction scrolls, a couple more pickup here and there. Visiting merchant, this is even the event deals that are going on right now. All right, guys, so making a lot of progression in here. Again, little by little, it is baby steps every single day for progression, but I'm enjoying it a lot. We got our new tier list up that came out for AFK Arena. We also have Nox that is coming up on the classic version. And of course, we're going to continue with this, continue with our progression as well as AFK Arena. So that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.